remembered that I needed to start recording the class. So, well, after that heart attack, geez.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do pages 2 to 4 from our notebook. We're gonna finish off today with matching a matching assignment that looks like this. For tomorrow, just as a reminder, we are gonna have a mini quiz. It'll be 4 questions, and it's all gonna be on slope. So if you guys want to practice some of the stuff from slope, look at week 1's notebook. And then today we're gonna kind of cover some of the stuff from last week as well. Some of you guys are falling behind on some of your assignments. Now, I know I told you guys I haven't been able to update anything because I'm waiting on my laptop. But how do I know that you guys haven't been doing some assignments? Because I can look at this and Deck Toys, guys, all of you guys should have had this done. It's not even that many questions. And then I keep getting people asking me, how do you unlock the second level? What's the variable for slope? And we're going to cover that today. Again, Fur actually answered that question here when I asked it. But I still had, even today, like a couple of seconds ago. Yeah, see, Jessica even knows it too. A couple of minutes ago, someone in second period was like, hey, what's the code? And I'm like, you didn't really read the problem. Like, you guys, read whenever it's giving you the codes or like asking you what's the code, it might just be a question that we've done in class and you guys just have to answer it. But another reason why I know that you guys haven't been doing some of your work is some of these. I noticed that, oh, look, actually, no, just kidding. It's probably just, some of my other periods, because you guys are actually not that bad. Like, most of these are all done. You guys are just waiting on me. Some of you guys forgot to put in your picture perfect and turn it in. So I did that for you guys. I still have 3 of you guys who haven't done it. And then I don't know how someone has already turned in this assignment because that's our notes. So some of you guys are moving ahead. So if you guys click on our homework, on our notebook on ClassKick, make sure to log in with our district email. I'm just gonna put in doc 3 because it's period 3, hit go. As a reminder, guys, once you're done with the page, go to the little hand and mark it as please check. That lets me know that this page is 100% done, especially when it comes to the your turn page. This is what I'm looking for to give you guys participation points for the district. So make sure to click on please check, because if it's not checked, then I'm not going to look at it and you're gonna get almost no points for participation. All right, so please make sure that you guys are doing that. Excuse me. Oh. We're doing day 5. Day 5 is technically the notes of day 5. So we've been doing this for 5 days for our notes. You guys can click on the notes in order to see it with me. For those of you guys who are having any internet issues where you guys can't move these, I'll let you guys know when to take a screenshot so that once we're done with class, you guys can start moving those pieces and everything will be good. All right. Give me a thumbs up once you guys are ready to move on and start taking notes.
Miss, I'll be back. I'm gonna go use the restroom.
That sounds fine.
Right. My little cousins want to watch you do math. I don't know why.
Okay. Gotta start them young.
Yep.
That was my dad. When I was in elementary school, he would teach me how to do everything, using A, B, and C. So then I would do my homework that way. And then the teacher would think that, there was no such thing as photo math back then, but she thought I was cheating. And I was like, no, my dad is just a math teacher. So he knows how to do this stuff. And that's how he taught me. And yeah. I understood it that way. But The teacher was like, I didn't teach you how to do that. Don't do it that way. Like, I'm like, but this makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
That's why Common Core is cool, because now you can do many ways.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to review as we're moving forward. So it's like every single day that we're doing things, then it's really nice that it builds off of the day before. So even though we were working on slope, like we're still working on slope as we're doing this. We're just adding that extra step, but we're still reviewing what we did before. All right. So what should you be able to do by the end of today? I can write a linear equation from a graph. So I'm going to look at this graph and be able to write an equation based off of that. We still need to be able to figure out the slope. We need to figure out the y-intercept so that we can put it into that whole formula. Again, keep in mind that activity that we did on Tuesday, the picture perfect. Slope is that distance between one hook and the next. So slope is going to be that equal distance that we had to figure out. Our y-intercept, kind of think of that as the door length. All right. So as we're moving forward, the slope is going to be the hook distance. That y-intercept, think of that as, well, that's how large of a door we have, or a bookcase, or whatever you want to call it. So when I'm given a line like this, probably one of the first things that I personally like to do is I like to go down this line and mark down every single point that I see. So how do I find out which is a point? I go to a corner. So this isn't a corner, so that doesn't get anything, but this does. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Do you guys have to do that on your end? No. If you want to, though, grab one of the markers. I'm going to make this purple. And then if I wanted to, I can just mark a little circle on each one of these. Does it matter that it's perfect? Try and make it as perfect. Obviously, that one's horrible. But like, try and make them as perfect as you guys can. We're obviously using technology. So even when you're looking at some of my PowerPoint presentations, specifically on the PowerPoint slides, sometimes my corner should be a corner, but it's a little bit off on my PowerPoint. And that's specifically for PowerPoint. PowerPoint sometimes doesn't let me draw a line exactly where I want it. So I will let you guys know when that's a mistake. And I'm like, it should be there. But when it comes to your assignments, if we look at the assignment, all of them are perfect. So you don't have to worry about any of these not being perfect. So on your assignments, it will always be perfect. So we're going to look at this. A couple of things we can do as a review from last week. Let's figure out slope. Slope we can figure out by going up 1, 2. That's going to be my rise. My run is going to be going either left or right. So I'm going right and I'm going down, going over 1. So I went up 2, over 1. So my rise is 2 and my run is 1. So how would that look like? It would look like this. Slope equals 2 over 1. I can simplify that to just look like 2. So again, a couple of the mistakes that I am seeing from some of you guys are switching these two numbers. You're running first and then you're going up and down. And you want to make sure that it's going up and down first, the rise and the run, and then left and right. And then some of you guys are not simplifying it. So you're leaving it as 2 over 1. And you need to make sure that it's just a 2. Or if it's 2 over 4, make sure that you simplify that and you divide top and bottom by whatever number fits into both. Okay. So simplifying and making sure that it's rise on top, run on bottom. That's number one key for slope. Another tip for slope that I'm seeing is that if I ask you guys, what sign is this? Is this positive, negative, 0, or undefined? You guys can figure out, and you're like, okay, if I start writing slope, okay, that's going up, so it's positive. but somehow when you guys do your slope here, it's not positive. So mostly I see that with a negative. It'll be negative, but my answer will still be positive. Watch out, always pay attention to this. Figure out if it's going to be positive or negative first, and then make sure that this matches it. All right. From here, we can also start introducing our y-intercept. So I'm going to look at my y-axis. I'm going to go here into the middle, and I'm going to notice I'm going up 1. So my y-intercept is going to be at 1. Okay. So looking at a graph, we can figure out those two things. We can figure out what the slope is. We can figure out what the y-intercept is. Now, when I'm looking at how to find both of those, how to find slope, how to find y-intercept, which one is easier to find, or like the quickest to find? Is it plotting all the points, then counting up and over, and then simplifying this? Or is it just looking at the y-axis and saying, oh, it's just going to cross right there? So is it slope that's fastest? So S for slope? Or do you think it's the y-axis that's the fastest to find? So Y for y-axis, or the y-intercept. Which one do you guys think would be the quickest one to find? The slope, plotting all those points, counting up and over, simplifying, or figuring out the y-intercept, just looking at it and being like, oh, it's that.
So bad.
So put it in chat. Do you think plotting all those points, counting up and over, and then simplifying, that's going to be quick? Or just looking at the y-axis and going, oh, that's my y-intercept? Which one requires least work? Other than Hiren, oh my God, you guys are being super quiet. Okay, thank you, Lisandro. Jeez.
Wait,
Somebody.
what?
No, I was saying that you were the only one that like made a comment and gave me an answer, and everyone else was like super quiet, not giving me any answers. I was like, what's up with that? Is it the heart attack that we had earlier today? You know, is that what happened? You know, so so yeah. Even though finding slope, I mean, slope is easy, but when we're talking about quickness, which one you can actually see without doing any work, that's going to be my y-intercept. Y-intercept, it's just looking here and going, yes, that's it. And that's one point that you guys can already pick. So that's starting it from here. So with that in mind, we can like move forward. So let's finish, like start this page. I'm going to move the I can statement up here to the very top. We talked about our rise over our run. So we realized rise is 2, run is 1. We figured out the slope, and we figured out the y-intercept. So far, this is what we have right now. So rise is 2, run is 1. 2 over 1 simplifies to 2. And then our y-intercept is going to be 1. So give me a thumbs up once you guys are ready. Clap if you guys need more time. I see a clap. For those of you guys clapping, let me know that you guys are ready with a thumbs up. Oh, I see another clap. Okay, now I feel like this app
Which one are we
is like
doing?
messing with me. We're doing our notebook, page 2 of our notebook. All right, so let's move on. So we know our y-intercept, we know our slope. How is that going to help us? Well, the step number 1 that we should always do, always find the y-intercept first. Even though, like if we're looking at some of our assignments, or like our your turn. Sorry, now my battery is slowly like dying, so now it's starting to like slow down on me. Looking at the your turn, it's asking slope, then y-intercept, then equation. The reason why they put it in this order isn't because I want you to find the slope first and then the y-intercept. It's because that's the order you put them in into the equation. So they're trying to help you guys out into the order, but you should always find the y-intercept first. All right, so determine the y-intercept. So determine where the graph crosses the y-axis, y-intercept first. From there, I can pick 2 points that lay on the line. From the bottom to the top, I'm going to count how many I'm going up and over, which is just my rise over my run. So I can either be going up, I can be going to the left, I can be going down to the right, but I'm going up and down first, then left and right. And then lastly is just to take those 2 numbers that I'm given and plug them in. For instance, my slope was 2, my y-intercept was a +1, so then my equation is going to look like this. Y equals 2x plus 1. My slope is 2. So when I'm here and it's asking me what my slope is, I'm not going to put 2x. It's just the 2. So even if I'm given an equation, I need to make sure that all I'm putting is just the 2, not 2x. And I see that a lot. So I want to make sure you guys are not going to do that of putting the 2x instead of just the 2. So let's go into our page, which should be on page 2, and I can move these guys around. So I know that I need to determine where the graph crosses the y-axis. That's our first step. Then we need to figure out the rise over the run. That's my slope. Then plug it in. And I should get y equals 2x plus 1.
Doc.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how you have the rise 2 and run 1 to the right?
Yeah.
I don't have that. Like I don't have that on my thing.
Like any of them? Or just that
Yeah.
one?
No, it's just that one. It's not on mine.
Oh, then
It's
that's
not
fine.
an option. Oh,
If
okay.
anything, if you want it, just hit the type and then you can type it out.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if ever any of these disappear on you guys, you have the typer, and then you guys can also draw it if it's a fraction and you don't want to. So you guys can always create it yourselves as well. But like, am I going to take away points for you missing one of these because it magically disappeared on you? No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'm not that mean. Sometimes I'm that mean. Depending on if I've had coffee or not. This is tea, so. My house is cold. So it's always funny whenever the inside of the house is colder than the outside of the house. But these curtains that I have, my daughter's great grandfather, he is a interior designer, and he's like, oh, you need these to like block out all the heat and all that stuff. So in the winter, it should be nice and cold, but in the summer, it should be cooler. So I don't know. All right, so if you guys needed to take a picture, go ahead and take that picture. Give me a thumbs up once you guys are ready to move on. Awesome, awesome.
Just let me send you a Google.
Are you using Chrome? You because you can always open up a tab and then click on profile and make sure that your district email is turned on, and sometimes that does it automatically.
Okay.
If not, like close all of your, well, other than this app, close all of your apps and then reopen it. Sometimes that helps too. So there's a couple of things. If anything, take a screenshot of this and then try and log in outside of class, and you should be fine after that. Sometimes it's just being in Zoom and this that it messes with things. Bless you.
All right.
Okay. So we're going to move on. We're going to go on to the next page. Again, do not forget to hit that hand signal and mark it as please check. We're going to go to page 3. Notice there are 2 questions. All of your answers are down here at the bottom. We're just going to slide them all over to their correct spots. I'm going to do one question. We're going to answer, update it on our notebook, then another question, then update. So again, what are our steps? I need to be able to take this graph and I want it into my slope intercept form. So it looks like this, y equals mx plus b. Guys, commit this to memory. You guys need this forever, all right? So I was making, it was a pretty bad joke, but I made a joke. I was like, dude, you guys need to tattoo it, y equals mx plus b, math is life or something like that. Don't really do that, but like, it would be funny. But yeah, y equals mx plus b, that's going to be something that you guys need for a very long time. Again, our m represents our slope. Our b represents the y-intercept. The plus sign might change depending on if the y-intercept is positive or negative. So I'm going to put in a couple of points. So I'm going to find where that y-intercept is at, and I'm going to mark it down. Notice though, my circle is a little bit on the offside. Again, that's because I'm doing it on PowerPoint. It doesn't let me do it 100%, but we're going to pretend that I'm super old. I mean, I know I already am super old, but I'm going to be super old and I can't see, and I don't see this point right here, okay? We're going to pretend that like I can't find that point, and I'm going to click on this one. I want you guys to see what happens if I accidentally just skip a point. It's not the end of the world. It just means that we have to simplify a little bit more. So that's like, I want us to have that, a little bit of that practice. All right, so let's find the y-intercept. I'm going to start here at 0, 0. I'm going to count down 1, 2, and I'm going to say b is -2. Why is it negative? Because it's in, the negative side of our y's. So it's -1, then -2. So my b is -2. From here, I can find my slope. So I can count how many I'm going to go up, how many I'm going to go over. So how many times am I going up? I'm going to count. Up 1, up 2. I went up, so that's going to be a +2. And then I'm going to count. Ooh, this is going to the left. So that's +1. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be a 4. Is this going to be a +4 or is it going to be a -4? Can you guys let me know? Is it P for positive, N for negative? What is it going to be? Yes. So all of you guys are getting it. It's going to be a negative. Why? Because we're going to the left. Whenever we go to the left, all of those X's on that side are going to be negative. Even if we were on the positive side and we went and it's still technically positive, that direction is negative. So we're still going to mark it as negative because the direction is negative. So I'm going to put down a -4. However, let's look at the slope. I have a +2 on the top, -4 on the bottom. Is this simplified or can I divide it by something? If I can divide it by something, can you guys put that in chat? What can I divide it by? By 2? 2. So I can divide the top by 2. I can divide the bottom by 2. 2 divided by 2 gives me a 1. 2 divided by 4 gives me a 2. Notice what happened with this negative. I'm putting it here in the middle. You can keep it with a 2. That's totally fine. I'm putting it here in the middle because I'm letting myself know that this negative, I can either connect it to the 1 or I can connect it to the 2. What does that mean? That means I can climb up 1 and go 2 to the left, or I can go down and 2 to the right. So I can either give that negative to the 1 and go down, or I can give that negative to the 2 to go to the left. So that's just giving me the options of going one way or the other. All right, so yeah, -1/2 is going to be my slope. Last step, put it all together. So y equals -1/2. That's my slope. I'm going to add that x to the side of it. And then instead of putting this plus, I'm going to put this minus, or because I have a -2. So that addition sign turns into a subtraction because it's a -2. And that's it. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to find that equation and I'm going to move it up. Find the y-intercept. So my y-intercept was -2. Find my slope. My slope was -1/2. And then I'm looking for this one, -1/2 x minus 2. Again, what's my slope? My slope is -1/2, the -1/2. Do not put the x on deck toys. You're going to see this equation right here. And it's going to ask you guys, what is the slope? And it'll give you both. It'll say -1/2, and it'll say -1/2x. Make sure you pick just the one with the fraction, not the one with the x, or else it's going to mark it wrong and you're going to have to do it all over again. All right, give me a thumbs up once you guys are ready. I see claps. Mom, I'm teaching. God. My mom doesn't know how to text. She just started to learn how to text. So she sends me little like emojis, and it's only on the Facebook Messenger. She doesn't know how to use the regular, like, she has an iPhone too. So she doesn't know how to use the regular like text messaging system, just the Facebook one. And she only sends me, before she only knew how to do a thumbs up. And she would only send, and she would send it to everybody, thumbs up, thumbs up. And now she knows how to put like little gifs. And now she's slowly starting to like send me messages, but she was sending me like letters. Hello, Yahaira. I just wanted to say hi. Love, Laura. I'm like, you're not writing me a letter. You don't have to be like so formal when you're sending a text. And she's like, really? Oh, okay.
I thought she would sign it off as love, mom.
No, you would think like, but no, like whenever I refer to my husband to my kids, I always go, yeah, well, daddy was doing this and this and this. And then like my parents are not like that. Like they still call each other like, you know, Laura, or it's your mother. It's like, okay. All right, awesome. So I love parents. Parents are so funny. I mean, I'm awesome, but you know. All right, so we're gonna try this one more time. Again, what are we trying to put it in? We're trying to put it into the slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. So I'm just gonna pick a couple of points. This is another one where it's not 100% where it should be. It should be right there, but because because of PowerPoint, it's not letting me put it exactly where it should be. Again, your notes might be like this, but your assignments will always be perfect. So I know that, your notes might be a little bit off, but your assignments will always be perfect. So what's my y-intercept on this one? I'm going to look and I'm going to have it as y equals 1 or b equals 1. All right. So b equals, I went up 1. So it's going to be b equals 1. From here, we can find the slope. So from here, I can count how many am I going to go up or how many I'm going to go over. So I'm going to count. I'm going to go up 2. So it's going to be a +2. And I'm going to go 1 to the right. So +1. Again, it's plus for both because I'm going up and I'm going to the right. So I can simplify 2 over 1. 2 over 1 just gives me a whole 2. Again, please make sure that you put it as just 2, not 2 over 1, because I'm still getting some of you guys turning it in like that. Last step, who wants to give it a go? Can someone put it in chat? What would be my equation? Y equals what? What would be my equation? Y equals
2x plus 1.
Y equals 2x plus 1. Perfect.
Good job.
So Y equals 2x plus 1. Absolutely fantastic. Let's switch over. And I'm going to close my PowerPoint because I think it's making my stuff die. Yeah, sure, save it. Totally. I have no idea. Brain dead? Who? Me? That's me. No, I'm just kidding. A little bit. Or is that you? Are you brain dead? I don't know. You? Yeah. Think of it this way, guys. You have a 3-day weekend coming up. All right. So Monday is a day off.
On the 18th, Martin Luther King.
Yeah. So Monday is a day off. So we just have today. We have tomorrow. And that's it. You guys have 3 long days to yourself.
So no school this Monday?
No school this Monday. I like that. 3 days to forget it more. Yeah. And then when you guys come back, I'll make sure to give you like a super long test, right?
No.
Yes,
No?
No, do not give us a test, dog. Don't do it, please.
Okay,
Dog,
fine.
you'll be my least favorite teacher.
Dog, I don't want to take a test.
Man.
You're my first. No, I would still like you as much as I do, but like I would just be like, she really just gave us a test. Yeah, like that.
More work. Oh, more work. Yeah, someone's like, that would give me more work to do, so I should probably take it away. You know what?
We
Okay,
should all write
fine.
her a 2-page essay.
2 pages.
They have really good arguments.
They do. And actually, that's really good for you guys to have a very good, argument. Like, you know what? This would give you more work, so you don't want to have to give us, more work. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. You guys win. All right.
Dog,
So, yeah.
you still mad about the waffles and pancakes thing?
It's really funny that you bring that up because someone else was trying to comment on what can we do to create conversations in class and make connections and all this stuff. And I put into the chat, I was like, all you have to do is just throw out the question, pancakes or waffles, and see the arguments that happen. Like, Miss Gomez, what do you prefer, pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Ha! See? Teachers win.
Ah.
Dog.
Yeah.
You know I don't like either. I think they're both nasty.
How is pancakes and waffles nasty?
How do you think
They're
pancakes
just
and waffles
they're just both
nasty?
nasty, and I do not like syrup at all.
Well, you
How
don't
you
have
not
to have
like-
it with syrup.
I don't know. I just don't like either of them.
What about with fruits and whipped cream on them?
Mm-mm.
No.
Pancakes are
You
gross.
know, with your,
What, Lisandro?
with your, how with your pancakes you get bacon, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like bacon and what I do on my pancakes, or I get sausage or bacon, one of those two, I'll dip it in the maple syrup and eat it like that.
Yeah.
There are people
Yeah.
that do that.
No, I like the IHOP
With tahini?
the birthday cupcake with tahini.
Yeah.
Pancakes
no,
with
no.
tahini, that's gross. I mean,
No, they're
I'm
talking
not
about the
yucking someone's
fruit.
yum.
They're talking
Oh.
about the fruit with
Oh.
tahini.
Yes. Fruit with the, I was gonna say like pancake, like dude, you guys are taking it one step
Yeah.
too far with the tahini, man. No, and it's crazy. Like I'll have tahini. Like normally in my class, I'll have it like on my top of, like I have a little mini fridge, and kids hang out with me during lunchtime. So they'll leave some stuff for their like lunches and stuff. And then some kids are just walking around, you know, eating the tahini, you know, straight out of the bottle. And I'm like, dude,
Cause it's good.
That's it.
I know
We used to do
it is.
in elementary.
Well-
They'll get a little bit of tahini, and me and my friends will get them and eat the packet by themselves. We could see who
Yeah.
eat the most packets with
We
all
would
the
like go
sauce
around
spitting
and
out the
like ask our friends for them.
Oh my god.
Then we would eat them. They were good.
All right, guys. So I want you guys to try out your own. So go to the your turn. Oh, by the way, don't forget to mark this as please check. And then go to page 4. And I want you guys to try it. Start off with the y-intercept first, then find the slope, then find the equation. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes. Watch out for this one. We have talked about this one quite a few times. So you should know the slope for this one. So I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to do those 3 problems. It shouldn't take you 5 minutes, but try those 3 problems. Again, if you guys need to type anything, you can type in your fractions like this, or you can just draw them out. And no problem, guys. If some of you guys are having like Wi-Fi issues or anything like that, totally fine to just be observing. And then again, take screenshots and then enter it later. Even if by the 5 minutes you're not done with these, you can still continue working on it. That still gives you those participation points. You still get it done. We're doing this one right here. We're doing the your turn. So you guys by yourselves, you're trying that out right now. See if you guys can try it. And if you don't finish it, it's still your responsibility to finish it. We are going to talk about it. And yeah, again, if you're having Wi-Fi issues, no worries, you know, but like once we're done with Zoom, you should be coming back in here sometime today and then putting that in. All right. Again, take advantage of the fact that my computer is super slow right now until, you know, this UPS driver decides to drive correctly to my house versus wherever this guy is going. Because his little car has driven all over around my house and not to my house. Do you know how annoying that is? To like see the little like car on the map and it goes everywhere but my house. Urgh. So you guys have a little under 3 minutes. Again, you're trying. If you guys can't write on it, but you can at least see my screen, try and figure it out. Let me zoom in for you guys, because that's exactly what I told you to do. So, you know, you guys can see this. Zoom in a lot because, you know, viejita eyes over here can't see. And my husband made me some tea and I'm like, oh yeah, tea. And then I like took a sip and I'm like, oh, that's my tongue burned. No, thank you. Awesome. Yeah. As you guys are doing these, again, think about, the points. Where are they? So I'm going to start marking some of these points that I see. Ooh, no, I don't want it black. I want it purple. Well, let's do this one. So there's a dot. There's a corner. There's a corner. There's a corner. There's a corner. There's a corner right there. There's a corner right there. There's a corner right there. Also, if I wanted to write the word slope to try and help myself out, figuring out, is this positive or negative? Here's my word slope. And slope this way. And then slope this way. So these are all tricks that would help us in one form or another. So looking at this, I'm going to change my color. Looking at this, I can figure out my y-intercept. That's going to be the easiest one to find. So I'm going to start here at 0, 0. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So my y-intercept should be 4. Is this going to be a positive 4 or a negative 4? Can you guys let me know?
Negative because going down.
Negative because it's going down. Perfect. From here, from this point, I can count how many I'm going up. So my slope, I went up 1 and 1, 2. 2 to the right. So my slope should be positive. Another way that I know it's going to be positive is my slope word is going up. So I know this is going to be together. It's going to be both positive. When it comes to my equation, always start off thinking of it this way. I have y equals some number x plus some number. The plus might change to a subtraction, but I want you guys to try it in chat or unmute yourselves and let me know, what does this equation look like? Y equals what?
Y equals -4 plus 1/3. One half, I mean.
Good try. Both of those numbers are correct. But switch them. So what you did was you took that -4 because that's what we found first, and you put it as the first number, and then you put the slope at the end. Even though that's how we find it, this is the order that we put them in. So the slope would go first. So this would be the 1/2. And then our y-intercept would be back here at the end. So our slope is always going to be the one with the x, and our y-intercept is always going to be in the back. And notice I changed the plus sign to a subtraction because my y-intercept is negative. All right. So some of you guys were even putting that in chat like, oh, you kept it as a plus sign. This is where it has to change. Or what you guys can always do, always leave the plus sign and then add the negative and then realize, wait a second, I can't have 2 signs. So I need to get rid of the one that was already there. That's another way that you could possibly like not forget that negative. Leave them both there and then go, wait, no, I can't have 2. I need to get rid of the one that was already there. Does that make sense? Hopefully that helps. That's another trick. So I'm trying to give you guys, you know, tricks and ideas to help you guys not forget a certain step. So again, even though we do the y-intercept first, that's not the first number that gets plugged in. It's going to be the second one. It's going to be the one in the back. All right. So let's try this next one. So y-intercept, I have a 1, 2. So my y-intercept is 2. Let me know, guys. Is it positive or negative?
Positive because it's going up.
Positive because it's going up. I'm just going to put a +2. Even though I don't necessarily have to put a +2, that still lets me know that I'm keeping that sign, and that sign is important. The other ones, not as much when it comes to the positive side, but it is important to try that out, and that might help you guys. Moving to slope, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 going up over 1, 2. I have a 2. So 3 over 2. However, this 2 is negative. All right. So I have a 3 over a -2. And that would be my slope. I can also, again, double check. This slope is going down. So then that means one of these two needs to be a negative. How would I write this equation, guys? Try it again.
Y
3
equals -3/2 plus 2.
-3 over 2. Whoops. This is what I heard. What is missing?
X.
The X.
You
So,
got the -3 is supposed to be -2.
Good. Does that matter? For slope, it doesn't. Because technically, wouldn't I be able, and I'll do this in a different color. Let's do this in green. Wouldn't I be able to go 1, 2, 3 and say -3? And then say 1, 2 and do a +2. That's the reason why when we were doing the last page, I put this negative in the middle. Oh, I can write. Oh, I can still draw on this. Oh, I thought that was like my PowerPoint. I'm like, wow, I can draw my PowerPoint. Oh, no, wait. So that's the reason for that. So even though, yes, I could type it in, and I could type it in. No. I can put that negative in the back if I wanted to. That just looks kind of weird though, when I'm typing it. So putting that negative in the front, that's probably the best way to do it, especially when you're typing. So do it that way. And again, one of the other mistakes that I see from people is that they do forget to put that X, and sometimes they even forget to put that 2. And then they'll just leave it like that as an answer. And they'll just put the slope, the y-intercept, that's it, with nothing. Be careful with that. Make sure that that has the X and it does have that plus sign. Why the X? Because that's our formula. So our formula looks like this. So our formula looks, that's not the marker. Our formula looks like this. Y equals M, which is our slope, X, which is always there, plus B. So think about that picture perfect activity that we did. The M represents all those, the distance between each of the hooks. The X is just saying I have a bunch of hooks, I just don't know how many hooks. So, and then the B is going to be how big of a bookcase I had. So the X is always going to be there. So whenever you're typing these in, guys, always think I have Y equals some number X plus another number and fill in the blanks. Always start it off like that. Same thing when we were doing the slope formula. I told you guys to do, draw it like this, where it was our fraction bar with the two negatives like this, and then to plug in the numbers to the side. So this is how you guys would fill in the blanks on this way, which, you know, obviously you can't see because I decided to put it with all the, you know, stuff over there. Does that help? For those of you guys getting a little confused?
But that was a good question.
Yeah, very good question. Because you're not the only one confused with that.
Yeah.
I see that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why I was making that comment of what I heard. I heard no X. So, you know, or I'm old and you probably said X and I just didn't catch the X. So does spacing matter for tomorrow's quiz? Like, no. So tomorrow's quiz is actually going to be on Class Kick. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing is not going to be on Google Forms this year. It's going, or this semester, it's going to be on Class Kick because we're drawing. It is real, like you can't draw on Google Forms, so it will be on Class Kick. So no, spacing is not going to matter for your quiz ever for this semester. I shouldn't say never because you never know. 99.9%, it's not going to matter. All right, what's the slope for this? Can someone let me know?
0.
0. Awesome. I love you guys.
Good
You
job.
guys are like the best people ever. So yeah, our slope is 0. Why is it 0 and not undefined? Because remember, when our line is flat, think of a treadmill. That's when you're taking it easy and not having it on an incline. That's at 0. We can walk that. If it's up and down, only Spider-Man can walk up those walls. So you can't have that. That would be an undefined. So a slope like this would be 0. Our y-intercept, that's 1, 2. That's a -3. I want to see what equation would you guys think this is? I've gotten a lot of good answers, but I want to see, what do you guys get?
Y equals 0x minus 3.
Does anyone have any others? Because this is the one that a lot of people not mess up on, but have different answers. Yeah.
Y equals 0 minus 3.
Y equals 0, 0 minus 3. Okay. Okay. A little different. Okay. Anyone else?
Y equals 0 over 1 minus 3.
Y equals 0 over 1 minus 3. Okay. Ooh.
Add
So
the X,
all
add
of
the
you.
X.
Oh, add the X. Okay. I apologize. See, you guys have to be careful. Like you need to say that, you know, if does it need an X? Does it not need an X?
Good
So
catch.
all of you guys have kind of the same idea. You're thinking, okay, there is a 0 somewhere. However, all of you guys have that -3 at the end. You're like, no, -3 needs to not change. I know that that's there. It's the slope part that you're like, wait, how do I put that? So remember, you still need an X. So putting it like this, actually,
Maybe
wouldn't-
asking her why why she thinks it's just 0.
yeah. Can you explain why you think it's that?
It's
Versus
not
with an X?
entirely wrong.
Because you said that if there's no X, it's technically a 0. So
Oh.
like, why put an X if it's a 0? Like, it's just flat.
And
Or
honest,
or you could
or-
put the X in the front. Can't you do that? Like, put the X in the front, then the 0, -3.
you wouldn't do it that way. Well, technically, I mean, you always put the X in the back and the number's always in the front. I want to technically say this is more accurate than the others
Mhm,
because,
mhm.
well, one way or the other, you're still going to get kind of the same answer. So
Mhm.
-3 is correct. But remember how I said you always need to simplify your answers. So what's 0 times anything?
0.
0. So why even have it here? Because it's 0. Do you need it?
No.
No. So the answer would actually just be y equals -3. Because you don't need it. It's not like it doesn't, it's not going to be there. Now, what if I just left the x by itself? Is that still slope of 0?
No, because the x is a 1.
Because the
Ooh,
x is a 1.
good
Perfect.
job.
Great answers. So yeah, if you see an x there, doesn't have a number, this means my slope is 1. If I don't even see an x, then that means my slope is 0. So if you guys need to put those comments and, add yourself a little note here, you can write yourself if slope is 0, because, why would I want it to like show up? Yeah. Then no x. If there is an x, slope is 1. Maybe put yourself a little note right here. Again, do you have to? No. But it might be beneficial for you guys to have, an extra, note here. That might have been something you learned.
Ooh.
Doc, I saw the notes that we took on Tuesday, and now I saw what I did.
No.
Because it was the last one. It says y equals 6, and then you put m equals 0 because there's like no x, it's just 6.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's actually that's actually a really great tip. Whenever you're having parts like this, remember, we're putting one extra step, one extra step, one extra step. Looking at our notes from last week, comparing it to this week, we're going to be talking about the same stuff. We're just adding a little bit more. So something from last week could help you guys out with this week. So that was a great strategy. Awesome job. All right, guys. So if you guys are done with this page, make sure to, oh my God, I reset this. Whatever. Press this little hand symbol, press the check that everything's 100% done. We are going to cover one last thing before I let you guys go. Click on matching SIF and graphs. If you guys ever see the words SIF in a math class, it's because your math teachers are lazy and we don't want to have to write out slope intercept form. Because who wants to write out all of that?
Not me.
Yeah, no. So if you guys ever see that I'm writing SIF, that's just me talking about the slope intercept form. Yes, I am recording the session, so I will have it up and running for you guys. I think I actually owe you the one from Tuesday as well. Again, because my internet, like my laptop dies once I'm done with like tutoring and stuff like that. I haven't had the battery to upload it, so it will be uploaded today. And the nice thing is that I have a Mac computer now. I'm having a Mac computer, and everything that's on Mac on my computer is on the cloud, so it transfers beautifully over to my new computer. It just has to update and everything. So it might take me a couple of hours to get it up, but it will be up later on today. All right. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready with these notes or with this assignment. I see a couple of, claps. For those of you guys clapping, remember, make sure to give me a thumbs up once you guys are ready. Some of you guys kind of figure out if you're ready or not, because you're like clapping, thumbs up, clapping, thumbs up, clapping, thumbs up.
I did that by accident. I was trying to do something and I pressed the clap button.
Well, if I see it like go from like clap to thumbs up right away, then I'm like, okay, you know, they made a mistake. Then there's others that it's like, it's a clap. Then like a minute later, they do a thumbs up. Then like 30 seconds later, it's a clap again. It's like, I was ready. No, just kidding. I forgot something. It's not loading. All right. If you guys look at this assignment, it might look crazy because it has all of these answers, but if you look at every single slide, you'll notice the only thing that changes is the question, the graph up on the top. So if by chance you happen to lose one of these pieces on one of these slides, totally fine. Go to one of the other slides and pull the piece you guys need, because they're all in the exact same order. They're all exactly the same. The only thing that changes is the graph on each one. We're gonna do slide 1, do questions 1, 2, and 3, and then you guys will be on your own to do all the other ones. But we'll do questions 1, 2, and 3 together. All right. So I'm gonna give you guys tips on how to look at this. And it's basically in a way to make your life easier as we're moving forward. You know, it's things that you guys should be paying attention to. So step number 1, always look for your y-intercept. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go to 0, 0, climb up 1, 2, 3. So I know I'm gonna deal with a +3. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna look at all of my options. And I'm gonna see, okay, where are my +3s at? I have one here, 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 and here. From there, look at the type of slope this is. Is this positive or is this negative? Because we know it's not 0 or undefined. So is it positive P, negative N? Positive. It's, if I type in the word slope, it's going to be going up. So looking at my options, it could either be this one or it can be this one. All right. So again, I am process of elimination. I'm thinking smarter instead of having to go through each and every one of these. I'm looking at these and then and now I can figure out what the slope is to make, you know, finish this up. I am going to make little circles because I like to make my dots. So I'm going to add a circle right there, copy and paste it, and I'm going to look at where it would go next. There is a corner right there. Do you have to do this? No, you do not. I do this because it makes my life easier. I would suggest
we don't have to do the assignment?
No. I mean, you don't have to do the circles. Nice try, Hiram. I'm watching you. Trying to get out of doing the assignment, jeez. So I'm talking about the circles. You don't have to do the circle ones. I would suggest doing it, but you don't have to. If you can visualize it, then that's fine.
Doc.
Monday.
So I went to Google Classroom, right? And I went to the assignment because there's a go on it. And I was like, oh, this is for Thursday, for class Thursday. And then right now I was thinking to myself, I was like, wait, today is Thursday. I was like, so now we have to do this assignment.
Yes, you have to do this assignment. So, I love it. All right, so looking at this, I have to climb up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. So looking at my options, is it A or is it B? A or B?
B?
B. Remember, we're climbing up 1, over 1. Up 1, over 1 is 1 over 1, which gives me a 1 as a slope. Do I need to have that 1 in front? No, because I need to simplify it. It's invisible. So that's going to go there, and I'm going to put this guy back. Do you have to put him back? No, because you might not need it after this. All right, and that's it. Just keep going from there. So again, let's zoom in to question 2 to look at where my y-intercept's at. I need my circle. My y-intercept is right there at -1. I'm gonna climb up. There's another circle. Climb up again. There's another, and I'm probably just gonna do those 3. So my y-intercept is at -1. So I'm gonna climb here, and I'm gonna try and find all my -1s. What's my slope? Is my slope positive or is my slope negative? Let me know in chat. Positive or negative? That way I can start doing process of eliminations.
Positive.
Positive, because I'm climbing up. So I'm gonna look here. I probably need this one. This one's negative, so I'm gonna skip that one. -1, where's my -1s? This one's negative, so I'm gonna skip it. This one's positive, so I'm gonna pull it over. -1, -1, -1. This one's negative, so I'm gonna pull it, or like positive, so I'm gonna pull it over. That one's negative, so I'm gonna leave it alone. So here are my options. Again, do you have to do it the way that I am? No, this is a strategy towards it. How is it positive? Because if I wrote the word, and you guys can do this too, write the word slope. If it's positive, it should look like this. If it's negative, it should look like that. Because it's going down. This is going up. So you could put this on the sides and then write down positive.
So the third one is positive? I mean, negative?
Negative, yes.
The third one's negative, okay.
So we could do something like this and put, okay, slope should look like this because slope is going up. Negative, slope is going down like this. So that's probably another way of helping you guys out. Since the line is going up, we're dealing with positive.
Oh, I thought it was negative because in the notes you were counting from the y-intercept and then it showed -1. So that's why I thought it was negative.
Yeah, the y-intercept is -1. So the y itself is -1. But the entire slope, that's what we're talking about. So there's 2 numbers you're dealing with. One is the y-intercept, one is the slope. One could be positive and the other one could be negative. So that's there is a difference. We're just talking about the y-intercept. So like this one was positive and the slope was positive, or the y-intercept was positive. This one right here, both of them are going to be negative. My y-intercept is negative and the slope is negative. So sometimes they're both the same, sometimes they're different. So looking at this, guys, for question 2, is it A, B, or C? Which one's our slope? I'm climbing up 1, 2, 3, going over 1. Is it A, B, or C?
A.
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 Because if I went up 3 over 1, that's 3 over 1. 3 over 1 simplifies to just 3. So I am doing that. We have the same y-intercept, but this time I'm looking for a negative slope. So it's not going to be these guys. So I'm going to leave these guys here just so I don't get confused, and it makes my life a little bit easier to find all of my negative slopes that are -1, that are connected to the -1. Here's another one. No. Oh. Where's the last one? This one. So we're now on the right side. And again, I'm just putting them here. It has somehow I match them up. But if I'm looking at 3, which one would that be? Would it be A, B, or C? Let's see if you can do that without me putting the dots. Is it A, B, or C? Or do you want the dots?
It's B.
It is B. So just to like help out, my people who are blind. Nope. I'm gonna grab this guy, copy it, paste it. I'm gonna swing this guy over, and if I notice, copy and paste. Almost put it in the right spot. Copy and paste. So if I notice, I'm going up 1 over 1. Up and over is just going to give me a 1. So, oops. So my answer is that. All right, guys, I actually went over your time. I apologize. You guys need to just finish this up for homework. If you guys want to come during the office hours, which is 12 to 1, you guys can, and you guys can work on it, together with us. And yeah, so have a good one. Don't forget to do your exit ticket before you guys take off. Bye, guys.
Wait.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, dog.
Bye, Doc.
Bye.
See you.
Doc.
Oh, what
Bye, Doc.
time,
Have a good
Doc?
day. Bye, Miss
Bye.
Gomez. Have a good day
Bye.
too.
Thank you, you too.
So,
Lights.
Hiram, you need to type whatever you're trying to say. Oh no, wait, now it's quiet. So what do you want?
Do we have to do other lights?
Yeah, it shouldn't take you long.
How many slides is there?
I don't know.
6.
There's 6.
Okay, then I'll see you at 12.
Okay, I'll see you at 12.
Bye. Bye, Miss Gomez.
No,
Bye.
Hiram. 12:15, so Doc could get
Well-
a good lunch.
Okay.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And I think I heard something at my door. So
Ooh,
I'm gonna
let's go see Doc.
yeah, so well, I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna leave you guys alone, and I'll see you guys at like 12:15 then. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jessica.
Wait, you have to go back too?
Yeah. At 12:15.